This is the story of an object at the bottom of the Baltic Sea that, over a decade later, still doesn't have a confirmed explanation.
A Swedish exploration team was searching for old shipwrecks using side-scan sonar, hoping to find valuable historic cargo lost centuries ago.
Look at the definition on that return. A perfect circle.
Reroute the ROV. We need a closer look.
It wasn't the shape of any known shipwreck. The edges were too straight, too precise for something they expected to be a scattered wooden hull. Along one side of the structure, the team documented what appeared to be a series of step-like formations, each roughly 1 meter in height. At the center of the disc, they found two distinct openings, one small, roughly 30 centimeters wide, the other nearly 2 meters across.
The larger opening was surrounded by what looked like a squared, deliberate frame, unlike anything naturally formed by erosion or glacial movement.
Sonar images alone weren't enough. The team decided to send a diver down to examine the structure directly, despite the extreme depth. At 90 meters, water pressure is nearly 10 times that at the surface. The dive itself was already at the edge of what was considered safe. At 90 meters, water pressure is nearly 10 times that at the surface. The dive itself was already at the edge of what was considered safe. Moments later, the diver's communication equipment began cutting out, the voice on the surface team's radio dissolving into static.
Despite the equipment failures, the diver pressed on, moving closer to the larger of the two openings at the structure's center.
Looking into the opening, the beam of light seemed to vanish rather than reflect back, as though the space inside absorbed it entirely.
The sonar array is fully synchronized now. We're getting clean returns at maximum depth.
Good. I'm logging the parameters. Let's hope it holds.
Weeks later, the team returned with additional equipment, hoping to gather more conclusive data about the structure's composition. Most of the material turned out to be granite, gneiss, and sandstone, common rocks found throughout the region's ancient bedrock. But one fragment stood out, a piece of basalt, a volcanic rock. And the Baltic Sea has no volcanic activity.
A geologist proposed an explanation. Glaciers thousands of years ago could have carried the volcanic rock from distant regions and deposited it here.
But a second detail from the dive logs remained unexplained. Divers had reported a dark, burnt-looking residue coating parts of the structure's surface.
The Ocean X team who made the original discovery remained unconvinced, pointing to the object's near-perfect circular shape and staircase-like formation. With one unexplained fragment, one unclassified residue, and a swizz. The leading scientific theory remains straightforward. A glacial erratic, a massive boulder deposit shaped it. Under this theory, the circular shape, the layered edges, even the staircase-like formation could all result from natural.
A second theory emerged from the region's history. During World War II, this part of the Baltic Sea saw significant naval action.
Proponents of this theory suggest the object could be a large piece of sunken wartime equipment, though no him.
A third, more speculative theory points to the region's deep history. In 2024,
That confirmed discovery proves ancient structures do exist on this seafloor. It doesn't prove the anomaly is one of them, but it keeps the question open. Through every theory, one detail has never been resolved by any of them: The consistent equipment failures reported near the site every single time a team approached it.
No natural rock formation known to science is documented to interfere with electronic equipment in this way.
Skeptical scientists offer a simpler possibility: equipment corrosion, salinity interference, or simple coincidence, magnified by the excitement surrounding the discovery.
Skeptics and believers agree on at least one point.
Because of its depth, its remote location, and the cost of specialized equipment, only a small fraction of the structure has ever actually been examined up close. Years after the original expedition, renewed public interest brought new attention back to the site, and new questions about whether modern technology could finally settle the debate. Independent researchers proposed a new survey using higher-resolution multi-beam sonar and ground-penetrating radar, technology that didn't exist during the original 2011 discovery. The goal was simple: to look inside the structure's two openings for the first time, using radar that could see through solid rock without physical contact. But access to the site proved difficult. Poor visibility, extreme depth, and the remote location made repeated
stasis. As a result, independent verification of the original electromagnetic interference reports has remained limited.
It shared some properties with organic material, and some with mineral deposits, without fitting neatly into either category. The original discovery team has stood by their footage and reports for over a decade, maintaining that something about the site remains genuinely unexplained. Even now, only a fraction of the massive structure has ever been directly photographed or sampled. What lies beneath the visible surface, inside those two openings, and beneath the layers of sediment, more than a decade after its discovery? This remains one of the very few genuinely unresolved mysteries in modern marine science. Here is what can be confirmed. A 60-meter circular structure sits on the Baltic seafloor. Most geologists believe it's a glacial formation shaped by forces we already understand. A smaller number believe
At 90 meters, this site remains genuinely difficult and expensive to study.
For now, it sits exactly where it was found.
Some things in this world resist easy answers, not because we lack the tools to study them. We may never know for certain what sits at the bottom of the Baltic Sea, but we want to know what you think it is. Leave your theory below.